It's the beginning of the 19th century. Great Britain has once again decided that its empire just isn't big enough. Since Africa is practically free real estate, they swoop in and take parts of North and South Africa. Other Europeans, greedy for land and resources, also start taking parts of Africa. And then this addiction for more land that several European countries have contracted seeps into nearby islands and parts of Europe. Wanting to join the fun, even America starts claiming territories off its mainland. Imperialism is taking the world by storm.
Imperialism basically is when a country takes control over more territory through acquisition or by force. Now, if you're thinking that all conquest through several worldwide powers is creating tension between countries, you would be absolutely right. Tensions rose higher than ever during the early 20th century because everyone was greedy for land and disputes over certain territories were quite often. France and Britain were especially wary of Germany, for German nationalism has been growing to an alarming state. Nationalism was the belief that a certain nation was superior to other ones simply because of who they are. If that doesn't sound like blatant racism to you, then I don't know what will. Anyways, when Germany took over Tanganyika, an Eastern African state, it interfered with Britain, who was trying to build a railroad across Africa. Also, when France was trying to secure Morocco, the German Kaiser installed ideals of independence into the Moroccans and a rebellion broke out. Germany really wasn't popular among other European nations.
Militarism also contributed to the tensions within Europe. Germany especially was very proud of their military and sought to increase their military and create newer and more powerful weapons. Seeing this, other European countries did the same thing, and soon everyone had tons of soldiers and weapons not being put to use yet. However, it would be imperialism within Europe that would lead to the start of World War I. Everyone wanted land. No one was being very nice about it. And the only person on Germany's side was little old Austria-Hungary. And now, more about the Great War.
Many blamed Germany for World War I, when in reality they didn't even start it. It all started on June 28, 1914 in Sarajevo, Bosnia. The Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, had just been assassinated by Serbian nationalist Gavrilo Princip. From here was a domino effect that begun the war. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. The German leader at the time, Kaiser Wilhelm III, backed up Austria-Hungary. Since they had a treaty, and then since Russia backed Serbia, it ended up being Germany versus Russia. Since tensions had already been high in Europe, countries took sides, and within a week it was Russia, Belgium, France, Great Britain, and Serbia, the Allied powers, against Germany and Austria-Hungary, which were then now the Central Powers.
Germany developed a plan for dealing with both the Western countries and Russia. It was called the Schlieffen Plan. This plan would split their army into two and have them fight on two fronts, the Western and the Eastern Front. However, this plan was tainted with German nationalism. Germany had assumed they were naturally more powerful than France and Russia, and essentially believed that they could end the war quickly with mass invasion of France, then quickly transport troops from the Western Front to the Eastern one. It did not work out like that at all. Both France and Russia fended Germany off, and Germany had to retreat. However, Russia was unable to break through German lines, for they were experiencing their own problems. Lack of food and supplies, and the revolt had broken out due to the awful Tsar Nicholas II.
All this time, the United States had tried to stay neutral and not get involved in the war. However, that proved quite difficult when German ships started sinking American ships with submarines. At first, America was just slightly frustrated, but after doing this multiple times after, Woodrow Wilson, the current American president, threw out the idea of remaining neutral and on April 2nd declared war on Germany. The war kept on for a few years. The Ottoman Empire joined the Central Powers. Italy joined the Allies. Battles on land, water, and sea were fought, and by 1918, the Central Powers knew they were going to win. Austria-Hungary was dissolving because of nationalist movements, and Germany was outnumbered in the air, land, and sea. On November 11th, 1918, they signed an armistice ending the war.
There was also new technology that came from World War I, like the airplane. The airplane was first introduced around this time, and it was first used for battle. Like this was like the first aerial battles. Also, the machine gun. The machine gun increased the death rate of wars by I don't know how much. It increased it a lot. And then you got it's lethal in a sense, but it won't kill you type mustard gas. That was the worst.
June 28, 1919 in Paris, a treaty was made by the Allies to try to avoid such conflicts in the future called the Treaty of Versailles. Unfortunately, Germany received the short end of the stick and was immobilized from the treaty. Pent-up frustration would lead them to start World War II 20 years from then.